In this video, how to make a beautiful, juicy, perfectly cooked, edge-to-edge ribeye steak. And you'll see how juicy that is. And this will really work on any thick cut of meat. But we're going to be using a ribeye here, and the steak's about 1.5 inches thick. I'm going to start by seasoning with kosher salt, granulated garlic, and black pepper, all of which is optional except for the salt. Now, if you have time, try and season the steak about at least a couple hours before, if not the day before. Because what will happen is as that salt dissolves, it'll start to migrate into the center of the steak, partially dissolving some of the protein filaments, allowing those protein filaments to hold on to more moisture during the cooking process, leading to a more juicy steak, which is what we all want, right? Now here I have a standard 22-inch Weber kettle with a chimney full of blue bag charcoal. And right now I'm just using this chimney to measure out the amount of charcoal that I'll be using, which is basically the whole chimney, about 80 briquettes. And I'm going to place most of this unlit charcoal on one side of my kettle grill and arrange it so it's kind of nice and stacked and not sprawling around. I'm going to leave about 12 briquettes in the chimney. Now here I have a wax cube fire starter, which where have these things been all my life? They work great for starting your chimney here. And I'm going to set those 12 charcoal briquettes right on top. Now, while I'm waiting for those guys to fire up, I was thinking to myself, hey, self, you know what? This will probably work out better if you actually tie a piece of butcher's twine around the steak. This will help to kind of keep the steak's shape during the cooking and give it an even thickness all the way through. Now, notice how I looped the string twice there. So that way, watch when I cinch it down, it stays. And then I can go back and loop it one more time to tie my tightening knot. So that's just a little trick for you. And you can see the steak kind of came together as more cohesive. It's going to give me an even thickness while cooking. Now, after about 15 minutes, my briquettes have ashed over. And I'm going to take those briquettes and pour them out on top of my unlit charcoal. And then take some metal tongs, go through and rearrange them just in an even fashion. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to cause a slow burn and allow me to control the temperature of my grill a lot more easily. Now here I'm laying on chunks of oak, and you can use pecan, hickory, whatever you want, but don't use too much. You just want a nice soft kiss of smoke. And then on the side where I'm going to place my steak, I lay a drip pan just so the meat juices doesn't gunk it all up. Grill on top. And then here I'm placing a digital lead thermometer, and you see it has a little grill attachment there, so it just attaches to my grill. And I'm placing that on the cooking side of my grill grate. I'm going to place the lid on top, and notice how I have the top dampeners on the opposite side of my fire. And this is going to draw the smoke across the protein during the cooking process and give me the most efficient smoke. Now I'm going to monitor my temperature of the grill and we'll kind of watch it climb. Now what I want to do is I want to start tamping down the bottom dampener at around 200 degrees Fahrenheit, and then place my steak on top of the grill. Now, if you wait till your grill gets to the perfect temperature, the extra oxygen of taking the lid off might overshoot your temp. So I usually start about 25 degrees below. Place the steak on, place the lead thermometer of my second lead thermometer on the inside of the steak. So now I have two probe thermometers, one that monitors my grill. So I'm going to set the alarm to beep at me if my grill gets above 240. And I'm going to set my steak thermometer to beep at me if my steak gets to 132, which is a perfect mid-rare. Now, fussing with this top dampener here sometimes will help a little bit, but what you are looking to do is hold that temperature at about 225 to 235, if at all possible. Here, it was actually holding pretty steady, which I love about the Webers. And you really don't want it to go above 250. And this slow cook at first is going to give you a beautiful edge-to-edge doneness with a little bit of a kiss of smoke. Now, once I cook this to 132 degrees internal and my thermometer beeps at me, I'm going to take it off the grill and let it rest. And you want to make sure it's away from the dog so he doesn't come and snatch it. And while my steak is resting down, and you want to let it rest down to about 20 degrees below its finished temperature. So at 132, I'm going to let it rest for about 45 minutes until it drops to about 112 degrees Fahrenheit internal. And in the meantime, I'm going to rearrange my charcoal open up both my dampeners, top and bottom, to get my grill raging hot. Because at this point, our steak has already been perfectly cooked edge to edge on the inside. Now we just want to cook it on the outside, give it some color. So here I drop it on, I give it a couple of sears on both sides, flipping it fairly often. And then you can see me here brushing it with some olive oil to reinforce that crust, reinforce that sear, give it a nice sizzle. And again, you're just looking to go as hot and as fast as possible. And once you have the color that looks good to you, you want to pull it off of the grill, run it inside. And if you have the patience, let it rest for a little bit. If not, if people are hungry, you can slice it up just like I'm doing right here. And you can see as we're slicing this bad boy up, you see that beautiful edge-to-edge doneness. There's no concentric circles of doneness, but you have that even edge-to-edge doneness. That's what you're looking for when you're reverse searing a steak. And it's that slow start which leads to these beautiful, even results that give you a juicy, tender steak every single time. For more information and related techniques, you can check out this episode's show notes by clicking the link in the description underneath this video.